Coming in at number 10, Brendan Fraser. With a few upcoming movie roles, it appears like Brendan Fraser is indeed back at it in an era that is being dubbed the Renaissance. Many people really enjoyed watching him in the DC series Doom Patrol, but they're also going to get to see him in big projects like Martin Scorsese's Apple TV film called Killers of the Flower Moon. He will be starring alongside the likes of Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro. Back in 2018, Fraser briefly spoke about the several events in his personal life that kept him out of Hollywood. While speaking with GQ, he said that he had changed houses, went through a divorce, plus he just wanted to spend more time with his kids. And he revealed the physical toll that his career had taken on him over the years. By the time that he had finished his third Mummy film in China, he said that he was basically being held together with tape and ice, which meant that he would spend 7 years in and out of the hospital due to the injuries he sustained from doing his own stunts. But with all of that behind him, we are so happy to see that Brendan is back and better than ever. But before we get into our next point, make sure you tap that like button to show some love to the channel. Coming in number 9, Jessica Simpson. Jessica Simpson recently celebrated 4 years sober, and in doing so she showed off a candid photo that even she believes is an unrecognizable version of herself. The photo was from Simpson's first day without alcohol, and in her caption, she spoke more about how she felt that day and what made her want to become sober. She begins by saying, "This morning in the early morning of November 1st, 2017 is an unrecognizable version of myself. I had so much self-discovery to unlock and explore. I knew in this very moment I would allow myself to take back my light, show victory over my internal battle of self-respect, and brave this world with piercing clarity. Personally, to do this, I needed to stop drinking alcohol because it kept my mind and heart circling in the same direction, and quite honestly, I was exhausted. I wanted to feel the pain so that I could carry it like a badge of honor." And it's certainly great to see that she is now doing much better. For her kids' sake, I would say making this lifestyle change was probably the best decision she could have ever made. Coming in number 8, Zac Efron. When Zac Efron appeared on a Facebook video for Bill Nye's Earth Day musical, his cheeks seemed to be extremely swollen and his jaw was much more prominent. Viewers immediately began speculating as to whether or not he had received some type of plastic surgery. A dermatologist even told Insider.com that Efron could have gotten fillers or facial implants. Interestingly enough though, Zac didn't actually have to deny the rumors himself. An Australian radio show host and friend of his came out publicly to deny the plastic surgery rumors. On the Kyle and Jackie O show, he said that there was no chance the actor had gone under the knife. "I would have known if he had any plastic surgery," he said, adding that Efron's face is already close to perfect. "It's like getting a Picasso and having a kid finger paint all over it. Why bother?" Coming in number 7, Kelly McGillis. Back in 1986, Kelly was the beautiful lady opposite Tom Cruise in the action movie Top Gun. However, now the 64-year-old is said to not be reprising her role as contractor Charlie Blackwood in the new sequel. In 2019, she told Entertainment Tonight that she was never actually contacted to come back for the upcoming installment, but she believes that it's because she looks unrecognizable now. "They did not, and nor do I think they would ever. I mean, I'm old and I'm fat and I look age appropriate for what my age is. I'd much rather feel absolutely secure in my skin and who and what I am at my age as opposed to placing a value on all that other stuff." Coming in number 6, Lara Flynn Boyle. In the late 1980s all the way into the early 2000s, Lara Flynn Boyle was often featured in the tabloids. The Twin Peaks star even covered Rolling Stone and was in a high-profile romance with Jack Nicholson, although now she is rarely spotted out in public, and when she was, it sparked massive rumors. In a rare red carpet appearance in 2017, it appeared as though she may have indulged a little too much in cosmetic procedures. Just last year, she did an interview with The Hollywood Reporter and revealed that she doesn't even own a computer, smartphone, or know how to use Google, adding that she doesn't even pay attention to what is written about her in the media. And when asked if she was planning on staging a comeback, the star quipped that she never went anywhere. I guess that would negate the need for a comeback then. Coming number 5, Adele. Adele in 2022 looks very different from the Adele that we were first introduced to. Back in early 2020, Adele revealed that she had lost a ton of weight. In fact, she lost 100 pounds after exercising for 2 years straight. During a Vogue cover story that she did, she talked about how her body has been objectified for her entire career. Adele also added how she was shocked by the amount of women that were having the most brutal conversations about her dramatic weight loss. She goes on to say, "I understand why some women especially were hurt. Visually, I represented a lot of women, but I'm still the same person. And the worst part of the whole thing was that the most brutal conversations were being had by other women about my body. I was very disappointed with that. That hurt my feelings." Despite all of this backlash though for her transformation, Adele seems to be embracing her new look. In at number 4, Wendy Williams. Unfortunately, it looks like the Wendy Williams show is officially going to be canceled in June. Producers cited that with Wendy's ongoing health battle, it has made production very difficult to continue. For a while, they were having a rotation of guest hosts, but they did confirm that Sherri Shepherd will be replacing Williams. The producer of the Wendy Williams show and Sherri Shepherd's new show called Sherri confirmed that the replacement will take place this fall. Sherry will be inheriting the time slots on the Fox-owned and operated stations that have truly been the foundation for Wendy's level of national syndication since 2008. Wendy has battled with the autoimmune disorder Graves' disease for a long time, and recently some health issues connected to that caused her to need time off. Company co-president Mort Marcus and Ira Bernstein said in a statement, "Since Wendy is still not available to host the show as she continues on her road to recovery, we believe it is best for our fans, stations, and advertising partners to start making this transition now." They continue by saying that they hope that they can work with Wendy again in the future and still wish her a speedy and full recovery. They also express that they still have a great love and affinity for Wendy and admiration for her success. Coming in number 3, Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke has had such an interesting career. After he became well known in the 1980s as a Hollywood tough guy and symbol of masculinity, Mickey's career kept being overshadowed by his personal life. By 1991, he had quit acting and started a career of boxing, although this career was not as kind to him. He had gone undefeated in 8 fights with 6 wins, 4 of which were knockouts, but the damage he took from these fights was horrendous. He's broken his nose, toe, and ribs, plus had a compressed cheekbone and split his tongue. Because of this, he would require plastic surgery, but Mickey would later say that he chose the wrong person to do it because the surgeon had left his face a complete mess. Fortunately, this actually ended up working in his favor. After being cast as a menacing and bruising character of Marv in Sin City, his career was launched yet again. Plus, he gave the performance of a lifetime in the 2008 film The Wrestler and ended up being part of the MCU in the Iron Man franchise. Not too bad for somebody that looks completely unrecognizable in 2022. Coming in number 2, Bridget Fonda. Bridget Fonda quit Hollywood in 2002 and has not been spotted on a red carpet since 2010, so when she was photographed out in public for the first time in more than a decade, it caused big headlines. The former actress looked unrecognizable as she ran errands in Los Angeles. She was once known as one of the most glamorous women in the 1990s, but has proven that all stars go through changes over the years. Her current laid-back look sparked a lot of debate, with many comparing her to how she looked in the 1992 film called Single White Female, a movie that proved she could draw in big numbers as it would go on to make nearly $50 million upon release. Ultimately, though, the pressure of being Hollywood's it girl finally got to her, and so she decided that she was going to retire to focus on starting a family. Last but certainly not least, on our number 1 spot, Linda Evangelista. Recently, supermodel Linda Evangelista stepped back into the public eye after spending the last 5 years of her life in hiding. During an exclusive interview with People magazine, Linda opened up about having a cosmetic procedure that she says left her brutally disfigured. Linda was once one of the most photographed people in the world, but she has been hiding out until she was ready to share her story. The model spoke about the emotional and physical pain that has consumed her life after she claims cool sculpting left her permanently disfigured. She tells People magazine, "I love being up on the catwalk. Now I dread running into someone I know. I can't live like this anymore, in hiding and shame. I just couldn't live in this pain any longer. I'm willing to finally speak." And this is a stark contrast from the Linda Evangelista that the world came to know 30 years ago. She wasn't just a model, she was a supermodel. She graced the cover of about 700 magazines in her career and was a muse for some of the fashion industry's top creators. Her story now, though, is more about getting back that sense of self and questioning why she felt the need to do these things to her body in the first place.
Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have Janelle and Jace Evans. Janelle Evans is a former star of 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom 2 and has found herself gaining quite a following recently on TikTok. Janelle has been no stranger to showing herself and the changes she and her body have gone throughout the years. I mean, she stepped into the public eye at just 16 years old and is now 30 years old with 3 children. Janelle, however, isn't the only one we've seen undergo changes while the world watched her grow up. Janelle's oldest son, Jace, is exactly the reason she stepped into the public eye in the first place on the MTV shows. The world watched his birth years ago, and that is exactly why we were all shocked on February 2nd when Janelle posted a video and shared some selfies with the now 12-year-old Jace. It is crazy to see how much he's grown. The preteen was all smiles with his mom by his side, and Janelle captioned the post, quote, "He's almost taller than me." The pair looked like they had a great time in their little vlog that showed their fun weekend outing. In our number 9 spot today, we have Danielle Bregoli. Also known as Bad Baby, she shocked fans on TikTok when she posted a video in which she was completely unrecognizable. In the video, Bregoli can be seen mouthing along to the words of a TikTok audio track holding bags and money, but what was happening in the video was truly not what people cared about. The video went viral not because of the content, but because most people didn't even realize who it was they were looking at first, because she had completely transformed. People quickly flooded the comments with their opinions on just how much she had changed, with people saying that she didn't even look like the same person. Bregoli did reply to the comments on Instagram, where she said that it was all a test and that she purposefully made herself look different to see if people would comment on her appearance, which they did. She said that this showed that people just wanted to comment for her to reply, not because they cared about what she looked like. This was met with mixed reactions, as many people were confused as to what exactly she meant. She has since admitted to getting lip fillers, veneers, and silicone in her butt. In our number 8 spot today, we have Scott Thompson. Also known as Carrot Top, Scott is one celebrity who is completely unrecognizable since his time in the spotlight. The prankster and stand-up performer has said multiple times that the change in his looks is not due to plastic surgery, but people simply seem to just not believe him. He says that the changes in appearance have come as a result of how he takes care of himself and the sorts of products he uses. His face wasn't the only thing, however, as he seemed to have put on a lot of muscle as well. This of course caused even more rumors to swirl and circulate, but he simply says that this is just a result of working out, which he says he has always enjoyed doing and now just has more time to do. In our number 7 spot today, we have Mary Magdalene. Earlier this year, Instagram influencer Mary Magdalene unveiled her newest Barbie look. The 25-year-old said that her quote new face looked like a quote forest fairy elf, and since the initial post she has gone on to post more recovery and post-op photos. Over the years, Mary has undergone several surgeries to extremely alter her looks, and this was just one of the newest endeavors on that journey. Throughout the years, her procedures have included things like a brow lift, fat transfers, multiple nose and boob jobs, veneers, liposuction, butt injections, and 3 Brazilian butt lifts. With this latest procedure, she wrote, quote, "It's a very fake looking Barbie nose, which is exactly what I asked for, and so many surgeons said it was not possible for me to have this type of nose because of my 3 prior nose jobs." She also said that this will not be her last procedure, despite almost losing her life due to one last year. In our number 6 spot today, we have Zhu Chuna. Zhu is a social media influencer and TikTok star from China who made headlines this year after a viral video by Polish YouTuber Project Nightfall hit the internet. Really, the entire story is horribly sad, as the young influencer has undergone more than 100 plastic surgeries. It is said that she is on a path to try and look like a human doll, and that the surgeries have cost her parents $620,000. It is said that the motivation behind these procedures was because she was made to feel as though she wasn't beautiful enough prior to having them, which unfortunately has led to this sort of cosmetic surgery addiction. It is said that she will likely continue to undergo these procedures despite how harmful and dangerous some of them might be. In our number 5 spot today, we have Ollie London. Ollie London is a white influencer who was born in Britain who went viral last year for their extreme plastic surgery procedures in which they claimed to be attempting to make themselves Korean. They explained that they were emulating famous BTS singer Jimin and that they were quote transracial. It is said that Ollie has had 20 cosmetic procedures so far, totaling to around $250,000, but they are certainly not finished yet. No, Ollie has made claims that they will soon be undergoing more procedures this year in 2022 in an attempt to be quote 100% Korean. Of course, the 32-year-old influencer was quickly met with backlash for the offensive decisions, but it doesn't appear as if any hate or backlash is going to persuade their plans. In our number 4 spot today, we have Dane Cook. Dane Cook is a comedian who's been around for a lot of years, but many people would agree that the height of his fame was in the early 2000s kind of area. That isn't to put him down or anything like that, it's just the truth. That is exactly why, more recently, when photos of him began spreading around the internet, people were shocked to see that his appearance had changed quite a bit. To be completely honest, people weren't kind about the differences either, with a meme going around accompanying the photos that asked, "What happened to Dane Cook?" Many people began to speculate that perhaps the changes were due to some sort of plastic surgery procedure, but according to Dane, that's not true. The 49-year-old doesn't often respond to negativity on social media, but this time he chose to address it flat out. He wrote, quote, "So many weirdos DMing me asking why I wax my eyebrows or Botox. It's called healthy living, my friends." He went on to explain what that meant, saying, quote, "Never drank or did a all that stuff messes up your skin. I've had a dermatologist for years to help me keep my skin nice with constant travel. Drink mostly water." Some have chosen not to believe the comic, but either way, in the amount of years his career has spanned, of course we are going to see quite a few changes in him. It's the way of life. In our number 3 spot today, we have Trisha Paytas. Trisha is an influencer who is always donning a new look or style or whatever new thing they can come up with, but this time they have made this list for an entirely different reason. Who would have thought that Trisha would be on their way to becoming a mother? On February 14th, Trisha announced that they were expecting their very first child after experiencing years of fertility issues. Trisha's YouTube channel and just general online presence has been highly controversial for years, so while many of their fans were quick to support the influencer, they were also met with harsh criticism and sometimes even accusations of falsifying their pregnancy by critics. Trisha explained in their announcement videos that doctors told them that they would require IVF to conceive, and that news of their pregnancy gave them a quote sense of purpose. They also added that this all started to come true after they started to quote visualize their own pregnancy as a part of their quote spiritual journey. In our number 2 spot today, we have Tom Green. Tom Green is a Canadian comedy legend, and if you've been watching the new Laugh Out Loud Canada season, then you'd know that he is sporting a completely different look. Turns out Tom has left the Hollywood life in order to live a more simple life in a log cabin in rural Canada. He explained that the move came as he was after a more laid-back lifestyle after living a life full of success. People were shocked to see that Tom had really embraced a look to match his new setting when he donned a full beard with long hair to match. He has also been giving fans a glimpse into his new, simple life while he answers questions and takes viewers on walks with him throughout his home and outside, some of which last hours. He explains that the long live streams are actually a part of a bit because he thinks they're ridiculous, and he kind of just wants to see who will stay captivated and part of the conversation, despite there not really being a reason for a 4-hour-long live stream. In our number 1 spot today, we have Chloe Khan. Chloe Khan first came to the spotlight in 2010 when she stepped onto the X Factor stage covered head to toe in fake tan, ready to take the world by storm. That is exactly why the now 29-year-old shocked fans everywhere when she posted photos of her next to some expensive cars showing her total glam transformation and honestly huge lifestyle change. She looked completely unrecognizable, as many fans immediately began pointing out, with one even writing, quote, "Bet her daughter would not recognize her," referring to Chloe's daughter Destiny. Of course, there are always going to be critics, but with the harsh comments also came a lot of support from fans as well. Chloe was quite upfront with the procedures she has had done, as well as how much they cost her, saying she'd spent, quote, "20K on my boobs, 9K on my nose, 8.5 on veneers, and my lips were another 10K.
Unfortunately, it looks like the Wendy Williams show is officially getting cancelled in June. Producers cited that with Wendy's ongoing health battle, it has made production very difficult to continue. For a while, they were having a rotation of guest hosts, but they did confirm that Sherri Shepherd will be replacing Williams. The producer of both the Wendy Williams show and Sherri Shepherd's new show called Sherri confirmed that the replacement will take place this fall. She will be inheriting the time slots on the Fox-owned and operated stations that have truly been the foundation for Wendy's level of national syndication since 2008. Wendy has battled with an autoimmune disorder called Graves' disease for a long time, and recently some health issues connected to that caused her to need time off. Company co-president Mort Marcus and Ira Bernstein said in a statement, "Since Wendy is still not available to host the show as she continues on her road to recovery, we believe it is best for our fans, stations, and advertising partners to start making this transition now." They continue by saying that they hope they can work with Wendy again in the future and still wish her a speedy and full recovery. They also expressed that they still have a great love and affinity for Wendy and admiration for her success. A spokesman for Wendy named Howard Bragman later issued a statement in response to the news and said, "It's been a challenging time for Wendy as she deals with her health issues. She's incredibly grateful to Debmar Mercury, to Sherri, and everybody else who has supported the show through this time. She, more than anyone, understands the reality of syndicated television. You can't go to the marketplace and sell a show that's the maybe Wendy show. She understands why this decision was made from a business point of view, and she has been assured by Debmar Mercury that should her health get to a point where she can host again, and should her desire be that she hosts again, that she would be back on TV at that time." Sherri has also been one of the people guest hosting on the show and was even just recently welcomed back on. After learning of the news and hearing Wendy's statement passing the torch over to Sherri, Vanity Fair reported her response as saying, "Oh my god, I am so excited to have my dream come true and debut my very own talk show, Sherri, in the fall. I can't wait until I return to New York to host the show and merge everything I love: pop culture, talk, entertainment, and comedy. I am thankful to Debmar Mercury and Fox for partnering with me on this show and look forward to this new journey." Not only has Wendy been having issues from her autoimmune disorder, she also had a case of COVID thrown into the mix as well. Because of this, she has not been able to host her series since July of 2021, which led many to question the future of the show altogether. A source told the Sun newspaper that Sherry is going to be walking a tightrope between being her own woman and still respecting what Wendy has been able to accomplish. The producers still want everything to feel familiar, so if you're a fan, then you shouldn't expect too many changes to be made. Many people were shocked by the announcement that Wendy would be leaving the show though. One person writes, "Wendy Williams was a legend on radio and a legend as a talk show host. The way she transitioned to TV and was at the top of her game, no one can ever do what she did. Iconic in both fields. I hate that the Wendy show is being cancelled. Whether you loved or hated her, she was elite." With another adding, "Just saw a tweet saying that the Wendy Williams show is getting cancelled and I refuse to click the article because that means it's actually real and I don't want it to be real."
Danielle Bregoli, aka Bad Baby, was first known to the world as the Cash Me Outside girl from Dr. Phil. Since then, she's transformed her fame into a flourishing rap career, along with being one of OnlyFans' highest paid stars. The rapper shocked fans in her newest TikTok video, where she looked unrecognizable. In the video, Bregoli mouths along to an audio called Golly G. Through the audio, she mouths that she's the disappointment of her family, but makes the most money. In the video, she's holding stacks of cash along with designer purses to get the point across. The video quickly went viral, and comments flooded in asking about her new appearance. Some of the comments read, quote, "She doesn't even look like the same person that she used to." Another read, quote, "I didn't recognize who this was at first." Many of the comments also claimed that she looked like Cardi B or Nikita Dragun. Danielle responded to these comments in an Instagram video where she claims the entire TikTok was a test for her fans, and it seems her fans failed that test. Apparently in the TikTok she used a wig with no curl, along with makeup that was lighter than her skin tone and no contour. Danielle claimed this was all done to see if any comments would be made about her appearance. Apparently the fans failed this test because there were obviously comments made about how she looked. She went on to say, quote, "So now I know, it's not about me actually, oh she looks like this, she's trying to look like that. It's literally that y'all just want a famous person to respond to you. That's all it is. If y'all kept saying that I had a banana on my head and I said no I don't have a banana on my head, y'all would continuously say it, no matter if I did or didn't." The Shade Room posted the Instagram video to their page, and it seems that viewers are mostly just confused about the supposed test. Many don't even believe that there was a test in the first place, and that was just some sort of excuse to deflect from the fact that she looks very different from how she used to. I can't put my finger on what exactly looks different, but her eyes and lips stand out to me as looking different than her usual look.
Supermodel Linda Evangelista is stepping back into the public eye after spending the last 5 years of her life in hiding. During an exclusive interview with People magazine, Linda opened up about having a cosmetic procedure that she says left her brutally disfigured. Linda was once one of the most photographed people in the world, but she has been hiding out until she was ready to share her story. The model spoke about the emotional and physical pain that has consumed her life after she claims cool sculpting left her permanently disfigured. Cool sculpting has become a popular and FDA-approved fat-freezing procedure that is promoted as being a non-invasive alternative to liposuction. In September, Linda even filed a lawsuit against Cool Sculpting's parent company called Zeltic Aesthetics for $50 million in damages. She is alleging that she has not been able to work after undergoing 7 sessions of Cool Sculpting in a dermatologist's office from August 2015 to February 2016. She tells People magazine, "I love being up on the catwalk, now I dread running into someone I know. I can't live like this anymore, in hiding and shame. I just couldn't live in this pain any longer. I'm willing to finally speak." In just 3 months after her treatments, Linda started to notice these bulges appearing under her chin, on her thighs, and bra area as well. Coincidentally, it was these same areas that she was attempting to shrink, but now they were suddenly growing and hardening. Then those areas went numb. She goes on to say, "I tried to fix it myself, thinking I was doing something wrong. I got to where I wasn't eating at all. I thought I was losing my mind." At her wit's end, Linda decided to go see her doctor in June of 2016. She dropped her robe for him and recalled crying as she said to the doctor that she had not been eating anything and still couldn't figure out why her body had become disfigured. Her doctor then diagnosed her with paradoxical adipose hyperplasia, or PAH for short, and he said that basically this means that no amount of dieting and no amount of exercise was ever going to fix this. This is a rare side effect that happens to about 1% of Cool Sculpting patients. Essentially, the freezing process has caused the fatty tissue that they wanted smaller to now become thick and begin to expand. A plastic surgeon from New York City was also interviewed in this article, and he added that this is really the upsetting part for a lot of patients. He goes on to say, "Patients go in to have something reduced and now it's enlarged. And the problem with PAH is that in some instances it may not go away. In many circumstances, the affected areas are no longer amenable to liposuction like they would have been in the first place." Now, what's wild here is that Linda has alleged that her doctor reached out to Cool Sculpting about her PAH, and the company told them that they wanted to make things right. Although we wouldn't have a $50 million lawsuit on the table if they actually did something. The company apparently offered to pay for liposuction with a surgeon of their choosing, but then on the eve of her liposuction appointment, she was informed that they would only be covering the procedure if she agreed to sign a confidentiality agreement. So she refused and then paid for her own first 2 full-body liposuction surgeries. After her surgery, she apparently had to wear a lot of compression garments. This included girdles and a chin strap for 8 weeks, because if she didn't, she would be at risk of the PAH coming back, which apparently it did even after the second liposuction in July of 2017. This is a stark contrast from the Linda Evangelista that the world came to know 30 years ago. She wasn't just a model, she was a supermodel. She graced the cover of about 700 magazines in her career and was a muse for some of the fashion industry's top creators. Her story now though is more about getting back that sense of self and questioning why she felt the need to do these things to her body in the first place. She goes on to say, "Why do we feel the need to do these things to our bodies? I always knew I would age, and I know that there are things a body goes through, but I just didn't think I would look like this. I don't recognize myself physically, but I don't recognize me as a person any longer either." She, Linda Evangelista the supermodel, is sort of gone.
And at number 10, Trisha Paytas. Trisha Paytas has been on the internet for a long time. This means there are plenty of photos that show a dramatic change in their appearance. Trisha has been very open about their cosmetic procedures. They've admitted to getting Botox, fillers in their lips and cheeks, along with lipo and breast implants. Even with all these procedures, Trish is known for transforming themselves online with heavy makeup and face tuning. Ethan Klein once actually labeled Trisha Paytas the quote, spokesperson for Instagram versus reality, because of how different that they look on Instagram versus in real life. On the left we have an Instagram photo, then on the right there's a picture of Trish without any makeup on, but in the same hairstyle, and obviously the difference is night and day. And at number 9, Stassi Baby. Stassi is one of Kylie Jenner's childhood friends, and it seems that as they grew up, the pair started to look more and more like each other. This escalated rumors that the pair had matching surgeries to look nearly identical now. Stassi has been open about getting breast implants. She revealed that she had 2 breast augmentations in her life. The first was done to even out her breasts, as one was much larger than the other. Then the second was done years later to add more volume to both of her breasts after she lost weight. Stassi told Harper's Bazaar, quote, "I was very open to sharing plastic surgery is nothing to be ashamed of. A lot of people think plastic surgery is only for cosmetic reasons, to change something that you're insecure about." And at number 8, Bella Hadid. Bella Hadid has been labeled the most beautiful woman in the world, but some doubt that her beauty is all natural, and many think that she has underwent a lot of cosmetic surgery since she was a kid. Looking at the before and after, it's kinda hard to believe the change is only due to genetics. It's been speculated that Bella's received a lip filler, gotten a nose job, threads to give her a cat eye, and filler in her cheeks. But Bella denies this. In a 2018 interview with InStyle, Bella said, quote, "People think I got all the surgery or did this or that, and you know what? We can do a scan of my face, darling. I'm scared of putting fillers into my lips. I wouldn't want to mess up my face." Even her mother, Real Housewives star Yolanda Hadid, stated that neither of her children have been under the knife, adding, quote, "They know better after seeing what I went through removing my breast implants. But in my opinion, I don't think it's possible for the shape of her eyes or her nose to have changed that much without surgery." And at number 7, Ollie London. Ollie London, a white influencer born in England, recently underwent 18 surgeries in an effort to change their ethnicity to Korean. Ollie has more than 800,000 followers combined on their platforms, and they claim to now identify as Korean. The surgeries were an attempt to look like popular BTS singer Jimin. Ollie underwent a facelift, brow lift, eye surgery, temple lift, as well as getting new veneers. London said they were now, quote, "feeling really good after being very unhappy with who they were deep down for the last 8 years. Ollie is also trying to normalize being transracial, tweeting, quote, "Transracial is a thing. I invented it. If you can be transgender, you can be transracial." And looking at the before and afters, all the procedures have clearly transformed Ollie, and they look completely unrecognizable. And at number 6, Lala Kent. The Vanderpump Rules star has changed dramatically since she joined the show, and she's admitted that cosmetic procedures are the reason. Well, on Instagram stories, she reminisced about her old appearance and how much she's changed thanks to her doctor. She said, quote, "I will say though, I thoroughly enjoy my new face that Dr. Diamond has provided me. I love my jaw, I love my little chin, I love my lips. That's how you can tell these days if it's a throwback show because everybody's walking around like this." When asked what exactly that she's had done, Lala admitted that she's had Botox, filler in her cheekbones, filler in the chin, filler in the jaw, and her lips done. So pretty much her entire face except for her nose. Lala shared this after watching old rerun episodes of the show when she didn't have these enhancements, saying that old Lala was just trying to figure things out, and now she's better than ever. And at number 5, Molly May Hague. Molly May is known as one of the most popular Love Island contestants ever, since she already had a following before starting the show. And since she's been on TV, she's had a lot of work done. But Molly May recently admitted that she went overboard and decided to remove a lot of her filler to look more natural again. She's admitted to getting lip and jaw filler after leaving Love Island. Opening up about why she wanted to reverse the various enhancements she's done, she said in an Instagram video, "I think I've taken all the steps that I want to take now in reversing all the mistakes I made with the fillers, getting things done that I didn't necessarily need to get done and didn't think through at the time, about 2 or 3 years ago." She says she doesn't regret anything, but she's young and just wants to look different now. And at number 4, Chloe Khan. Chloe Khan first became known from the X Factor UK for her insane look. She'd actually been on TV before, and in 2009 she appeared on the BBC 3 show Snog, Marry, Avoid. Then in 2010, she auditioned for the X Factor and went totally viral. She made it through to the boot camp but was kicked off the show later for too much partying. Now she's known for her risque Instagram and for looking literally nothing like she did on the X Factor. Through a mix of facial and body modifications, along with photo editing, she is pretty much unrecognizable from who she was before. She's reportedly spent more than £50,000 on cosmetic procedures, including a nose job, lip fillers, veneers, a boob job, and a Brazilian butt lift, although she regrets getting the nose job. And at number 3, Gemma Lucy. The British reality TV star and model has changed a ton over the years, clearly due to enhancements. Not only has Gemma admitted to getting work done, she's also revealed that she's addicted to it. She told the Closer magazine, quote, "I get a buzz from the fact that you lie on a bed, fall asleep, and wake up with the body that you want." Adding, "It's so addictive. The moment I walked out of a hospital after my bum lift, I was ready to go back in and have something else done. I love the adrenaline rush that it gives me." She's revealed that she's underwent multiple butt lifts, Botox, lip fillers, and a breast augmentation. And from her excitement about the procedures, it seems that she will not be stopping anytime soon. In at number 2, Katie Price. British model Katie Price has been open about her many plastic surgery procedures that have changed her face considerably over the years. But she recently revealed that she regrets a lot of it, and at one point she felt like a monster. Katie has told media outlets that she received a full body liposuction, eye and lip lifts, liposuction under her chin, and fat injected into her butt. Apparently after one round of procedures she was told she needed a blood transfusion, but she was too scared of COVID to get it done. At one point she was regretting it all, asking herself why she put herself through all these procedures, saying that she felt like a monster out of a horror movie. She also revealed she lost count of the amount of boob jobs she's had over the years, saying it's around 12. Katie says she was all natural until she turned 30, and now she's had almost everything done. And finally at number 1, Kylie Jenner. It's clear to anyone that's been keeping up with the Kardashians that Kylie Jenner has changed dramatically since she started the show. And it's far more than what genetics can be responsible for. At first the biggest change with Kylie was her lips, which she denied for months on end. Then in 2016 she finally revealed that she received lip fillers. She even revealed to Allure that at one point she regretted her full lips and told sister Kim, quote, "Well, I definitely made my lips a little too big at one point," adding, "Thank God I didn't end up on botched." Kylie has not admitted to any other procedures, but it's widely speculated that she's gotten fillers in her cheeks and chin, along with a Brazilian butt lift and breast implants. In at number 10, Janelle Evans and David Eason. Teen Mom 2 stars Janelle Evans and David Eason shocked fans in a photo that was leaked from their anniversary dinner, where they looked completely unrecognizable from their usual selves. The photo was clearly taken in bad lighting, but in the photo the couple looked 20 years older than they actually are. One commenter said that the couple looked, quote, "ghoulish." Another said that they looked 70 years old. One comment wrote, quote, "Drinking and bad diet will age you fast. They've gone downhill in just a few short years." Janelle addressed the photo in a TikTok she made, where fans questioned why she wasn't wearing her wedding ring. In the video she said she lost the stone at dinner, showing the bad photo of them as proof that she wore it. In the TikTok she also said she didn't want to share that photo of them because it's a very bad picture, saying, quote, "I didn't post this picture because I didn't like the way it turned out. See what I mean? It was a horrible picture. That's why I didn't post it. The lighting was horrible." In at number 9, Bad Baby. Danielle Bregoli aka Bad Baby shocked fans in her newest TikTok video, where she looked unrecognizable. In the video Bregoli mouths along to an audio called Golly G. The video quickly went viral and comments flooded in asking about her new appearance. Some of the comments read, quote, "She doesn't even look like the same person as she used to." Another said, "I didn't recognize who this was at first." Many of the comments also claimed she looked like Cardi B or Nikita Dragon. Danielle responded to the comments in an Instagram video, where she claims the entire TikTok was a test for her fans. It seems her fans have failed that test. Apparently in the TikTok she used a wig with no curl, along with makeup that was lighter than her skin tone and no contour, to see if people would comment about her appearance, which they did. Danielle said that the public just wants to hate and wants a famous person to respond to them. It has nothing to do with the way that Danielle looked. But it seems that people were mostly confused about her response. And at number 8, Dolores Catania. The Real Housewives Housewives of New Jersey star went through multiple plastic surgeries since she became a reality star, and it's dramatically changed her appearance. Catania has admitted to getting a tummy tuck surgery, breast augmentation, facelift, liposuction, and a Brazilian butt lift. She revealed the procedures actually put a strain on her relationship because her boyfriend did not support them at first. On the Getting Real with the Housewives podcast, she said, quote, "He was really angry. He was so mad at me and he didn't let up on it. I let him be mad for a little while that I had to say, listen, you either live with it or we just have to move on." And at number 7, Scott Carrot Top Thompson. Carrot Top's appearance has changed dramatically since his time in the spotlight, and many say he's had some of the worst plastic surgery in Hollywood. We're not sure what exact procedures that Carrot Top has underwent, but it's clear there's been many. One plastic surgeon speculated that he's underwent an eyebrow lift, along with Botox injections, lip plumping, and laser peels, which is proved by his disappearing freckles. It's speculated he's also taken steroids, and that's the reason that he's so buff. But even though Carrot Top looks so different, he has denied getting surgery. In 2015 he said, quote, "I can see why people would think that since I got really big for a while, but I never had any work done. I mean, if I was going to have plastic surgery, I would look better than this." In at number 6, Larissa dos Santos Lima. The 90 Day Fiancé star revealed an entirely new look in September of 2020 after she allegedly spent $72,000 on cosmetic enhancements. These procedures included a nose job, liposuction, and breast and butt augmentation. She spoke about the procedures in an episode of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, where she said, quote, "I lost weight, I did my butt to make it bigger, I did Botox, I did my nose, I did my lips, I did my cheekbones, I did my chin. I'm a new woman and I feel very happy." With all the cosmetic enhancements, she now looks unrecognizable from how she looked before the show. Halfway at number 5, Farrah Abraham. Farrah first gained fame on Teen Mom, but she's turned her 15 minutes of fame into a cult following, and she's now a full-blown influencer with 3 million Instagram followers. After Teen Mom ended, Farrah drastically changed her appearance and underwent multiple plastic surgeries. The procedures went so badly that she appeared on Botched in 2015 to get help. Her main problem were lip implants that went horribly wrong, showing a picture of her heavily swollen lips. After her botched lips experience, you'd think she'd take a break with the plastic surgery, but instead, she said she wanted to get butt implants next. In at number 4, Alina Omovich. Alina Omovich, or Alina Star, is a Russian Instagram model who has over 1.5 million followers on Instagram. Alina's photos, and body for that matter, look completely unreal, and it seems that she does everything possible to look as unreal as possible on Instagram. From her photos, it looks like she's gotten cosmetic procedures like breast implants, but Alina also edits her body heavily. This was exposed by Celebs when their page did a side-by-side comparison of her Instagram photos versus her in real life, and the difference was shocking. Alina already looked beautiful in the before photos, but she consistently makes her waist smaller, along with making her butt and breasts larger, which is a combination only possible with Photoshop. And at number 3, LaToya Jackson. LaToya Jackson has underwent many plastic surgeries over the years, which has made her unrecognizable from her younger self. The most noticeable procedure LaToya's had is a nose job. It was reported in 2017 that she was allegedly one nose job away from completely losing her nose. One plastic surgeon said that the outer flare of her nostrils had been overly narrowed to a point of near disappearance. If it had gotten any worse, her nose could have actually collapsed, making it impossible to breathe through. She's also been accused of bleaching her skin, as her complexion has gotten lighter over the years. And at number 2, Look Kim. Look Kim looks so different from her original self that she's basically unrecognizable now. Not only has she changed many aspects of her face over the years, but she's also been accused of heavily bleaching her skin. The most dramatic changes that have been made to her appearance are a smaller nose, lighter skin, and larger cheeks. When asked about her appearance in a 2005 interview, Kim revealed that her ex-boyfriend used to hit her, and she got all the surgery to fix the injuries that she got while in that relationship. She remembers one point where she was released from the hospital for one broken nose, for it to be broken by him yet again only weeks later. And finally at number 1, Tom Cruise. Legendary actor Tom Cruise shocked fans last weekend while he was out at a baseball game. The actor is known for his looks, so fans were shocked to see he looked different than usual. There were no major changes, but for some reason, Tom Cruise did not look like himself. He watched Game 2 of the National League Division Series, watching the San Francisco Giants play the LA Dodgers, with his son Connor. After the photos went viral on Twitter, fans were shocked to learn the person in the photo was Tom Cruise. It was speculated it was the result of weight gain. Some even thought he might have gotten some bad filler. One comment said, quote, "This looks like someone wearing Tom Cruise's face." but others defended the actor, saying he most likely gained some weight between movies, and we shouldn't fat shame him for looking normal.
Coming in number 10, 50 Cent. When 50 Cent made his surprise appearance at the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show in Los Angeles, the way he was hanging upside down opened him up to a whole new level of mockery. Immediately, the memes started flowing across social media, all fat-shaming 50 Cent. In the performance, he recreated parts of his music video from the 2003 hit Into Club, but he wore a tank top instead of being shirtless like in the original. In response to the outpouring of people saying that 50 looked unrecognizable now, he posted a picture of him and Eminem backstage and captioned it with, "I call this teasing me, they're just teasing me because they know I can drop the weight. That's why I laugh with them. Fat shaming only applies when you're ashamed of your fat." But before we get into our next point, make sure you tap that like button to show some love to the channel. Coming in number 9, Kathleen Turner. In 1992, Kathleen gave up a stellar movie career when she was diagnosed with a form of crippling arthritis and told by one doctor that she may never walk again. When the ravaging effects of rheumatoid arthritis, a chronic inflammatory disorder that affects the joints, and the drugs used to control it caused her to bloat and gain weight, her looks were the last thing on her mind. All she was concerned about was surviving. When making her return to the remake of Dumb and Dumber in 2014, people were worried that she would actually be upset with the script. In one part of the script, Jim and Jeff meet this woman and she says, "I'm Frida," and they say, "No, Frida's hot. Frida's smoking. That's not you." And in response, she said, "Do you know what? I don't look like I did 30 years ago. Get over it." People were very cruel and accused her of being a drunk. At the time, she wasn't, but she admitted that she later found that vodka helped numb the pain. In 2008, she said in her autobiography that she started using alcohol as pain relief because the drugs were messing up her mind, but it soon spiraled out of control. A few years ago, she decided to change her life and admitted that she had entered a destructive circle in which she became entangled. With the help of friends and family, she's now feeling much better. In at number 8, Matt LeBlanc. Recently, Matt was spotted looking unrecognizable as he sported some stubble and baggy sweatpants. The actor who played Joey Tribbiani on the hit show Friends is not often seen out in public, but was caught by the paparazzi at a body shop in Sherman Oaks, California. This rare sighting of Matt LeBlanc also comes after many fans expressed concern for his co-star and friend Matthew Perry, but we'll get to him in a moment though. Matt LeBlanc was widely credited as being the heartthrob of the Friends cast, but now in his older years it seems as though he's not troubled by the level of vanity that his iconic character was held to, letting his hair go gray and rocking a dad bod with no problem. His confidence and humor is truly what made the character of Joey great, and the good thing about that is Matt's confidence and humor is still very much intact. In at number 7, Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan began her acting career in 1981 with minor roles before she joined the cast of the CBS soap opera called As the World Turns the following year. After that, she began to appear in a variety of supporting roles throughout the 1980s in big box office films such as Top Gun and When Harry Met Sally. By 1989, Meg Ryan had gained widespread attention for receiving her first Golden Globe nomination, which established her as an internationally known actor. When it came to romantic comedy flicks, everyone wanted to cast Meg. She was by far one of the most successful actresses in the 90s and early 2000s because of this. That being said, Meg Ryan suddenly disappeared from Hollywood after a single role as a schoolteacher in a racy R-rated film ended her career. Meg thinks that because people had pigeonholed her as this comedic and lighthearted actress, they were almost appalled watching her act in anything that wasn't that good girl archetype. She was shocked at the vicious reaction she received for being naked in one of the scenes, and thus being in the public eye suddenly made her feel more isolated. In 2015, she turned heads as she attended an event in Paris, marking her first public appearance in 14 months. Many were shocked to see that her nose also looked remarkably different, and she seemed to have a strained appearance around her eyes, resulting in more and more people to remark that she looked unrecognizable now. In at number 6, John Travolta. John Travolta became a household name through his films like Grease and Pulp Fiction, and sported some of the most iconic and cult classic hairstyles. However, in a more recent Instagram post, the actor looked unrecognizable. In an Instagram video and caption, John thanks everyone for wishing him a happy birthday as he awaits his guests for dinner. When people think about John Travolta though, so many people immediately go back to those signature hairstyles, which is probably why it seems so jarring to see him completely bald. He does sort of look like he's about to audition for Professor X or maybe Mr. Clean the movie, although I have to say that it doesn't look all that bad. However, some people still do not know how to feel about it. One user writes, "I can't believe John Travolta is bald now and also 69 next year, but also bald." And at number 5, Heather Locklear. Throughout the 1990s, Heather Locklear was a huge star in Hollywood. She probably couldn't even walk down the street without getting recognized. Unfortunately, the bigger the star, the bigger the supernova. Throughout the last decade and a half, her health has been deteriorating, and due to the medication that she was on, Locklear became pretty unstable. In 2018, she had 2 confrontations with the police that led to her pleading no contest to misdemeanor charges. Police were called to the actor's home, but when they arrived, she actually attacked an officer. As a result, she was taken away for evaluation instead of being given any jail time. The weirdest part about this is that she didn't even need to appear in court for her hearing. Her attorney Bill Haney was sent on her behalf instead. A judge handed her a 120-day jail sentence, but said that she wouldn't have to serve time if she just just completed a 30-day treatment program. Along with that, she also had to follow the terms of a 3-year probation, but never really saw any jail time for attacking that police officer. In number 4, Matthew Perry. Getting back to Matthew Perry though, since that Friends reunion show, Matthew Perry has never looked more unrecognizable. In the past, Matthew has admitted openly that he has struggles with addiction, and fans recently revealed fears that he may be using again. In May of 2021, Matthew sat down with his Friends co-stars for an interview with People magazine. However, fans pointed out that he didn't seem to be responding to the questions in his usual comedic tone. Instead, they suggested that he was slurring his speech and even nodding off at one point. In a YouTube comment, one person writes, "I know we are all sad about Matthew, but let's remember he has suffered a lot of health-related issues and he has struggled with addiction. Let's all be kind and polite and remember all the funny moments he gave us through his role as Chandler. Thank you." In number 3, Angus Jones. Angus Jones is perhaps best known for playing Jake Harper in the CBS sitcom 2.5 Men, for which he won 2 Young Artist Awards and a TV Land Award. The show was the most popular sitcom in the US with an average audience of around 15 million people. By 2010, he was the highest paid child star in television at 17 years old. By 2012, though, Jones had turned 18 and really felt awkward with the new adult storylines that he was doing for the show. As a result of growing up, the writers could no longer give him childish lines and innocent mannerisms that Jake was so well known for. By November of 2012, Angus said that he had been baptized and no longer wanted to appear on the show anymore. He even went as far as saying that the show was filth and thus conflicted with his newfound religious views. In at number 2, Jennifer Grey. After her starring role in the movie Dirty Dancing, Jennifer Grey was completely unaware of how famous she was about to become. The movie didn't perform well at award ceremonies, but it became widely popularized for certain scenes and lines. Jennifer decided to have a bit of cosmetic work done following the success of the film. This, however, turned into the now infamous nose job from hell. Grey told the Mirror, "I went into the operating room a celebrity and came out anonymous." The nose job had altered her appearance just enough that even fans of the film didn't recognize her anymore.
I had my ears pinned back. I had injections in my lips. I had my chin shaved down. I had my breasts redone.
Last but certainly not least, in our number 1 spot, Heidi Montag. Heidi Montag had already established herself as a leading character on the MTV show called The Hills. It was this scripted show about a group of friends, lovers, and enemies in LA, but it was made to appear like a reality show in a sense. Heidi was clearly obsessed with the idea of changing how she looked, and as reported by Radar Online, Heidi said, "I didn't know what an eyebrow lift and a chin reduction was, so once he kind of told me everything that was wrong with me, I felt really insecure, and he gave me a really great deal on it all. He didn't tell me how extensive it was going to be, how severe, how painful, so I had no idea." Then they go on to list the procedures she had done in 2010. In total, Heidi Montag went under the knife for 10 plastic surgery sessions in just one day. When she appeared on the cover of People magazine looking completely different from her previous self, she told them, "I think I look way better and I'm way happier. Nobody ages perfectly, so I plan to keep using surgery to make me as perfect as I can be." And following all the surgery, she definitely did get lots of attention for that, but the question is, at what cost? She does regret changing her body so drastically because of the impact that it's had on her health, as noted in this Entertainment Tonight interview. Coming in number 10, Adele. Back in early 2020, Adele revealed that she had lost a ton of weight. In fact, she lost 100 pounds after exercising for 2 years straight. During a recent Vogue cover story that she did, though, she talks about how her body has always been objectified for her entire career. Adele also added how she was shocked by the amount of women that were having the most brutal conversations about her dramatic weight loss. She goes on to say, "I understand why some women especially were hurt. Visually, I represented a lot of women, but I'm still the same person. And the worst part of the whole thing was that the most brutal conversations were being had by other women about my body. I was very disappointed with that. That hurt my feelings." Despite all of this backlash though for her transformation, Adele seems to be embracing her new look, and she has an album coming out on November 19th called 30. Coming in number 9, Heidi Montag. Heidi Montag had already established herself as a leading character on the MTV show called The Hills. It was this scripted show about a group of friends, lovers, and enemies in LA, but it was made to appear like a reality show in a sense. Heidi was clearly obsessed with the idea of changing how she looked, and as reported by Radar Online, Heidi said, "I didn't know what an eyebrow lift and a chin reduction was, so once he kind of told me everything that was wrong with me, I felt really insecure, and he gave me a really great deal on it all. He didn't tell me how extensive it was going to be, how severe, how painful, so I had no idea." Then they go on to list the procedures that she had done in 2010. In total, Heidi Montag went under the knife for 10 plastic surgery sessions in just one day. When she appeared on the cover of People magazine looking completely different from her previous self, she told them, "I think I look way better and I'm way happier. Nobody ages perfectly, so I plan to keep using surgery to make me as perfect as I can be." Following all of the surgeries though, she definitely did get lots of attention for that, but the question is at what cost? She does regret changing her body so drastically because of the impact that it's had on her health. Coming number 8, Jessica Simpson. Jessica Simpson recently celebrated 4 years sober, and in doing so, she showed off a candid photo that even she believes is an unrecognizable version of herself. This photo was from Simpson's first day without alcohol, and in her caption, she spoke more about how she felt that day and what made her want to become sober. She She begins by saying, "This person in the early morning of November 1st, 2017 is an unrecognizable version of myself. I had so much self-discovery to unlock and explore. I knew in this very moment I would allow myself to take back my light, show victory over my internal battle of self-respect, and brave this world with piercing clarity. Personally, to do this, I needed to stop drinking alcohol because it kept my mind and heart circling in the same direction, and quite honestly, I was exhausted. I wanted to feel the pain so I could carry it like a badge of honor." And it's certainly great to see that she's doing much better now, especially for her kids' sake. I would say making this lifestyle choice was probably the best decision she has ever made. Coming number 7, Margot Kidder. First things first, let's say rest in peace to Margot Kidder. She was the first famous Lois Lane starring in the early Christopher Reeve Superman films. According to Daily Finance, Margot was battling schizophrenia though, as well as manic depression. While speaking during an interview, Margot said that she knew something was wrong but repeatedly refused help and treatment. Her career really started to fall apart because of this, and before long she was sleeping in cardboard boxes in whatever LA backyard that she could find. A woman who actually found Margot in her backyard said that upon approaching Kidder, she was missing her front teeth and her hair had been sort of hacked off in the front. When asked what she was doing there, Margot apparently told the Glendale resident, "I may not look like it, but I'm Margot Kidder." Coming number 6, Kumail Nanjiani. Kumail Nanjiani first rose to fame through his stand-up comedy 1 Hour Special on Comedy Central, but he's best known for his role as Dinesh on the HBO comedy series called Silicon Valley. He also received praise and accolades for co-writing and starring in the romantic comedy called The Big Sick in 2017, which was also based on real events in his life. The success of that movie then indirectly put him in a position for much larger roles in Hollywood, which included a big opportunity to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Knowing that he would be starring alongside the likes of Angelina Jolie and Salma Hayek, that prompted Nanjiani to get his body into serious shape. He knew that to represent himself properly as a samurai warrior in Marvel's Eternals, he would need to get into superhero level shape, which led to the Instagram post that pretty much broke the internet. In the Instagram post, he opened up about the reality of changing your body so drastically. He admitted that while it may seem impressive, it did not come without a lot of hard work. He goes on to say, "I would not have been able to do this if I didn't have a full year with the best trainers and nutritionists paid for by the biggest studio in the world." Coming number 5, Angus Jones. Angus Jones is perhaps best known for playing Jake Harper in the CBS sitcom 2.5 Men, for which he won 2 Young Artist Awards and a TV Land Award. The show was the most popular sitcom in the US with an average audience of around 15 million people. By 2010, he was the highest paid child star in television at 17 years old. In 2012, Jones had turned 18 and really felt awkward with the new adult storylines that he was doing for the show. As a result of growing up, the writers could no longer give him childish lines and innocent mannerisms that Jake was so well known for. By November of 2012, Angus said that he had been baptized and no longer wanted to appear on the show anymore, even went as far as saying that the show was filth and thus conflicted with his newfound religious views. Coming number 4, Zac Efron. When Zac Efron appeared on a Facebook video for Bill Nye's Earth Day musical, his cheeks seemed to be extremely swollen and his jaw was much more prominent. Viewers immediately began speculating as to whether or not he had received some type of plastic surgery. A dermatologist even told Insider.com that Efron could have gotten fillers or facial implants. Interestingly enough though, Zac didn't actually have to deny any of these rumors himself. An Australian radio show host and friend of his came out publicly to deny the plastic surgery rumors. On the Kyle and Jackie O show, he said that there was no chance the actor had gone under the knife, going on to say, "I would know if he had any plastic surgery," he said, adding that Efron's face is already close to perfect. "It's like getting a Picasso and having a kid finger paint all over it, why bother?" Good way to put it. Coming number 3, Kylie Jenner. During a recent transformation-themed issue for Paper Magazine, Kylie Jenner sat down and discussed her very public transformation. Jenner denied plastic surgery rumors, but did confirm that she had used fillers. In the interview, she says, "People think I fully went under the knife and completely reconstructed my face, which is completely false. I'm terrified, I would never. They don't understand what good hair and makeup and like fillers can really do." She also clarified that her look could not be considered all natural or completely attributed to just makeup. When the interviewer tried to attribute her look to an excellent use of, so let's say, crease application, Jenner gently interrupted and said, "I mean, no, it's fillers. I'm not denying that." Coming number 2, Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke had such an interesting career. After he became well known in the 80s as a Hollywood tough guy and symbol of masculinity, Mickey's career kept being overshadowed by his personal life. By 1991, he had quit acting and started a career in boxing. Although this career was not as kind to him. He had gone undefeated in 8 fights with 6 wins, 4 of which were knockouts, but the damage he took from those fights was horrendous. He's broken his nose, toe, and ribs, plus had a compressed cheekbone and split his own tongue. And because of this, he would require plastic surgery, but Mickey would later say that he chose the wrong person to do it because the surgeon had left his face a mess. Fortunately, this actually ended up working in his favor. After being cast as the menacing and bruising character of Marv in Sin City, his career was launched yet again. Plus, he gave the performance of a lifetime in the 2008 film The Wrestler and ended up being part of the MCU for the Iron Man franchise. Last but certainly not least, on our number 1 spot, Jennifer Grey. After her starring role in the movie Dirty Dancing, Jennifer Grey was completely unaware of how famous she was about to become. The movie didn't perform well at any awards award ceremonies, but it became widely popularized for certain scenes and lines. Jennifer decided to have a bit of cosmetic work done following the success of the film. This, however, turned into the now infamous nose job from hell. Grey told the Mirror, "I went into the operating room a celebrity and came out anonymous. The nose job had altered her appearance just enough that even fans of the film didn't recognize her."